Anthony, you've only beaten me one time. How about you go wait in the lunch line?
All right. Hello, everybody. We're back for week 2 of the Powerball Junior podcast. We have a pretty good episode coming up a little late before the Sunday games. We have Braden, we have Nick, we have Alexi, we have, the star of the podcast, Anthony Jones. We're so happy to have you all with us. Do you guys have anything to say before I run over what the podcast is today?
Yeah, why don't we explain why we delayed it so much?
Yeah, so we're supposed to do this on Thursday night. I got really fucked up with dingus. The beers were flowing, and it just didn't happen. And I don't really have an excuse other than beer. So
We'll do a drunk podcast one time.
We're 100.
Yeah, hopped on drunk dingus, but a little different.
Hey, thanks for being humble and just taking that, AJ. We're very proud of that. You've been showing a lot of growing steps recently.
Thank you. I took one for the team. It was tough drinking all that beer, but I had to do it. So
yeah, when you have the worst team in the league, it's pretty easy to drink a lot to get rid of your sorrows.
A little bit of a dumpster fire, but I think we're gonna be okay. We're slow starting. We got a lot of young guys. We're gonna be all right.
Overall, it was a great first week.
Breaking news. Moo. DeAndre Swift is officially active. Okay. So today during our podcast, we're gonna go over some first week, some of the bigger highlights. We're gonna brag about things we did correctly. We're not gonna talk about things we didn't do correctly. And then we have league news, come out player of the week, this week's matchups, and the mailbag. So we're gonna get right into our first segment, which is the league news. I'm gonna start by talking about Paul and Dave's matchup last week. Let me get it up real quick. Okay, so Paul and Dave's matchup was not a close one, so we'll go over this one quick. We had David Jones and Achilles Revenge taking care of business versus the Scrappy Sage Hens. Dave just had a pretty solid performance all the way through. Paul actually, I look at this matchup, and what stands out to me is Paul as known as getting the scrappy players that don't do too much but don't do too little. And if you look at Paul's team this week, every single player had over 10 points. He didn't do well. What? I'm looking at the projections, everybody.
Wait,
I'm wrong.
Paul's team got over 10 points at every position?
I'm looking at the projections.
Hold on. Cam Akers got 0. Darnell
I'm
Mooney
looking
got
at the
1.8.
projections.
Tyler Lockett got 5.8.
I'm aware. I was looking at the wrong thing. All right, stop talking. This is my segment. Okay. So, Paul had Jonathan Taylor and Josh Allen start off hot, and everyone else on his team was miserable. I mean, Cam Akers I don't know what's going on. Mooney sucked. Bateman was okay. Mark Andrews sucked, too. I predicted, so I was right about that one. He sucks. Tyler Lockett, can't believe he's in a starting lineup. David Jones, Barkley looked really good for him. Jefferson looked good for him. Christian Kirk looked good for him. Everyone else kind of sucked on his team. But he had enough guys that did pretty well. So, so let's move on to AJ versus William.
Actually, I think Justin Jefferson might be the best player in the NFL.
Oh, he's unreal. Aaron Rodgers.
Every catch he caught was wide open.
He's insane.
And we're definitely not going to talk about Christian Kirk because, like
Captain
we said,
Kirk.
we don't talk about things that we said wrong on the podcast.
Captain Kirk.
I also would like to point out, this is Nick's bold prediction segment, and we're going to get it off early here. Before the season, I would like to say Anthony said Cam Akers will lead the league in rushing yards. Last week, he got exactly 0 rushing yards. And
That's not fair. I said that 2 weeks before he was injured and before a lot of stuff came out after
you said
that way.
Also, Braden said Darrell Henderson will be better than Cam Akers this year. And Anthony responded to that with Darrell Henderson won't even be on a starting roster by week 6.
It's been 1 week.
Take that for what it's worth.
It's been 1 week. You watched 1 week of a guy that was hurt that didn't play. It was 1 week. Stupid.
Well, we'll see what happens in week 2, won't we?
Yeah, won't we? So why don't we break down Braden and Williams matchup?
Anthony versus Williams.
Anthony, I believe it was yours and Williams.
And me and Williams matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to point out how right I was about Williams' team. I picked him to win the whole thing, and he comes out and wins by 50. Now it's not hard to win by 50 when your opponent only scores 90. Shout out AJ. But I mean, really, this was just absolute dominance. He has Patrick Mahomes, the QB1. He threw 5 touchdowns. I mean, Anthony's just in a big hole there. Also, Cooper Kupp, probably the second best player in the league behind Justin Jefferson. I mean, he's crazy. Anthony's team is just full of backups and RB2s, which is good. Funnily enough, his best player last week was Antonio Gibson, which is just fantastic because when Brian Robinson comes back, which I don't know if you guys saw this, but he's practicing. He was just shot 3 weeks ago, and he's already back on the practice field.
I don't need Gibson to start after 2 weeks.
Brian Robinson is going to be a sponsor of this podcast by week 4.
Yeah, instantly. We're going to have a segment every week.
I would also like to point out really fast that fucking Ben Jones just changed his team name to Game of Jones.
I was going to point that out later in the show. Yes.
I was like, I didn't score 143 points last week.
You wish you did.
Alexi bought. Literally, Alexi.
Yeah, there's really not much to break down here. I mean, I think Anthony's highest scoring player was Antonio Gibson. Outside of that, it was like 11 points.
Yeah.
Trey Lance got 11. It was a monsoon, so we'll see. Maybe he can turn it around. I'm really hoping that he will for Anthony's sake. But yeah, better luck next time, AJ.
I mean, Najee had the worst week he's gonna have. ETN's gonna get going. CeeDee Lamb scares me because without Dak, I don't know. But he didn't do anything with Dak, so maybe he'll be good with Cooper Rush. I don't know. Sutton's fine. I need Kittle to come back. Obviously, I don't really have a tight end.
Inactive this week again.
I'm aware. So
imagine drafting a tight end in the 6th round and he doesn't play for the first 2 weeks.
Okay. I'm not concerned about my team. I still like it. It was a bad week 1. You know, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
10 points again. Travis Etienne's only gonna get better for the season. Trey Lance couldn't throw a football because of the weather. CeeDee Lamb will have a better game. Cortland Sutton did whatever. Not concerned. Very little to low concern right now. Keep you updated next week. So let's go on over to
actually
Carter.
before we jump over, Anthony, I want to introduce a new segment to the podcast. This is our therapy team of the week, sponsored by Primo Wellness. So this is where every week we'll pick a team that just quite frankly sucks. And this week your team was Nick's therapy team of the week, sponsored by Primo Wellness. Just bad quarterbacks. Najee was hurt and inefficient. Gibson was fine, but CD lost Dak. Sutton wasn't good. He wasn't even the number 1 target.
That's just
Kittle's hurt. Juju's what? Juju should be. Did you drop Juju yet? Because he's terrible. Juju is an awful football player.
That's just a ridiculous statement to say. Cortland Sutton was very clearly, if you're watching in the football game, the number 1 target.
I would agree with that. As the resident Broncos fan, go Coes, let's ride. Sutton was great. Jerry Jeudy had a great 70-yard touchdown, but outside of that, Cortland Sutton was
he's fine. But James Robinson is actually the starting running back for
I agree with that.
That's true. ETN might get benched.
That's not true. It was a week 1 coming off. As long as Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback on that team, he has been very openly saying he would much rather, he prefers ETN than James Robinson on the field with him.
All I'm saying is I'd want to play him right now.
I'm not concerned. ETN, again, had probably the least amount of snaps he'll have all year, and he still almost broke 10 points.
Okay, buddy.
Is that false? Do you think he's going to get less work as he gets healthier?
I mean, James Robinson.
But James Robinson
is the true meaning.
Did they draft James Robinson in, I believe, the second round?
James Robinson is the definition of Achilles' revenge right now.
Okay. You can suck my dick. Let's move on. Carter versus Connor.
Yeah, that was another blowout. I'll keep it short and simple, unlike the last one. Anthony, I think we can sum up basically what you just said is that you're going to lose the whole league. You're going to get last place. Anyways, Carter, he put up 154. Connor put up 115. Quite a disgrace to the two tech
Great,
people
I'm switching
here.
from my phone to my laptop, so let me into the room. He's gonna let me in, and then I'll be out for a minute.
You're in.
Yeah.
Both.
Anyway, yeah, it was a blowout. And it sucks for Carter a little bit though, because he had T. Higgins, who kind of sucks and got hit in the head, so he's concussed now. Who knows how long he'll be out? Is he out? Let's see if he's out. He's questionable today, so they haven't ruled him inactive yet. And I will say, Connor does have Tyler Boyd on his bench, who's caught a touchdown in the past. Has caught one touchdown in each of the past 4 games, so he could be a solid flex wide receiver 2 upside. So going forward, I wouldn't knock either of those teams too much. You know, Aaron Rodgers had a bit of an off week. DK Metcalf, that's questionable. Geno Smith, but both teams have a decently bright outlook, despite Connor's bad performance and despite Carter's great performance. Let's move on to Justin versus Ben.
Yeah, so Ben actually won this matchup. I was surprised. He took down the reigning champ.
I predicted that. Thank you. I predicted that Justin was going to suck. The Ben was going to. Thank you. I predicted that. And I had a lot of
final score of 143 to 126. A major injury came out of this one. Justin lost Keenan Allen, so maybe he'll get him back in a few weeks. But that stack right there, the Herbert Allen stack, is
Justin's team sucks.
Faltering. Ben, I'll say Ben won on the back of some average performances and one monster game from Jamar Chase, but a lot of like mid-teen performances on his team. Nobody shit the bed, which is always good. I'd like to point out Anthony said Hunter Renfrow will be on the waiver wire in a couple weeks, and after his week 1 performance, I think he might be right.
Looking like it.
And the last thing I want to point out is there was a ton of bench points here. Ben has got a very deep team with Gabe Davis and Michael Carter, both scoring over 17. And James Robinson on Justin's bench might just be the pick of the draft this year. I know Anthony disagrees, but we already talked about that. Ben's team is looking scary. I'd be afraid to play him right now. I think that takes us into Mike versus Alexi. I think Anthony is going to break this one down for us. Anthony's on the phone.
No way. He's on the phone. Oh my God, he's on the phone.
He takes a phone call every podcast. All right.
What could be this important? I'm laughing too.
Alexi, let's hear your thoughts about your matchup against Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Mike got the better of me for sure. He smacked me around like a rag doll, that's for sure. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, he put up 157, which I think was the second most in the league that week. Yeah, I think Dave only scored higher than him. But yeah, I mean, let's see. He just got a lot more touchdowns than my players did. I still put up 130, which is like, I think the 6th highest in the league. You know, average, not the best. Probably didn't deserve to win, but you know, DeAndre Swift, monster week. Miles Sanders had a monster week too. That game was just a shootout, Detroit versus Philadelphia. Debo wasn't even that good, but he ended up getting a rushing touchdown, which kind of saved his day. His only dud was Hunter Henry, who had 4 points. Other than that, every other one of his players got like over 12 points.
And he's got Kareem Hunt on the bench.
And he has Kareem Hunt on the bench. But that's really all he has on the bench. But it's a good bench piece to have. So yeah, Mike's team is looking pretty good. And we'll see how I do against William this week. Yeah, against William this week. Luckily, Patrick Mahomes didn't put up 48 like last week, so I might have a chance.
Yeah, I think a lot of your guys should bounce back this week. We're looking for a big day from Stafford for Allen Robinson.
We need that. We need that Stafford to Allen Robinson connection, and then you'll get 4th.
Alexi, we'll jump into the matchup of the week. We'll let you break that one down. That was me and Braden.
You're talking about last week, right?
Yeah, last week matchup of the week.
Yeah, I was keeping a close eye on that one. That was a pretty entertaining one because I think Braden had like 60 or 70 points going into Monday Night Football, and he had 3 Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. Russell Wilson, Williams, and who else? And then he had and then he had the Denver defense.
Yeah, Denver defense.
And I'll say that Braden won that game with 1 minute left in the game.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and he also won that game because Russell Wilson
on the last drive.
Yeah, and Russell Wilson really turned into a check down QB there. He had Javonte Williams had a lot of little dink receptions, but hey, Braden got the W, whatever way possible. Nick, I'm a little worried. You know, your leading scorer from last week will no longer be on the field this week, so we'll see how you fare up against. Who are you playing?
What did I miss, guys?
I don't know.
Anthony, shut up, dude.
I was ordering a sub.
You were not ordering a sub. It doesn't take 5 minutes to order a sub, dude.
does when you're
You're the
in.
type of person that would get a tuna melt.
It does when it's this big. It's this big.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, it was a good
Like
game
that.
last week. That was probably the game of the week, even though it was kind of low scoring, just because it came down to literally the last minute of the Monday Night Football game. Anthony looks like a retard. Let's go to the next segment.
I have one last thing to add about our matchup.
What is it?
I would have won if freaking Harrison Butker hadn't come back. Man got carted off the field after his first extra point. And then he came back, kicked a 50-yard field goal while only taking one step. And I lost by 3.
Because we're resilient on the Lightning McQueens.
Harrison Butker, least favorite player in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
You guys looking like, if you guys that can't see, all of our viewers, all 8 of you.
I think we.
It looks like you're in your shower, and then you had to pull like the hair and like the big glob of gooey shit out of the drain. That's kind of what Alexi looks like right now. It just kind of looks like.
Anyway.
What did that have to do with anything?
So where are we right now?
He's just salty that he put up 90 points. If we check the projections, final standings and projections, he actually went down.
Hey, you
and
wait
he's
till,
gonna get
you wait
last
till
place.
today. You wait till today, you pussy. Wait till today, pussy.
Dude, you're gonna get crushed by Mike. You literally have no chance. I think your team is like projected to get
We're
110
gonna
points,
shock
which
the
might
world,
be the lowest
baby.
in
Shock
history
the
of the league.
world.
Well, anyway, moving on.
114. Juju put up 4 points. 4
What's that?
points.
Am I doing Braden and Justin now? Am I
Drop
doing
him.
Braden and Justin?
No, we already did that. We're introducing a new segment, another new segment. For those of you who don't know, Braden and I, we brew beer in our closet. Our company is Out of the Closet Brewing because, let's be honest, we're a little gay.
Because I just came out of the closet because
So
they're a bunch of
new
fags.
this new segment is our Coming Out Players of the Week, sponsored by Out of the Closet Brewing. Where we're gonna just let you guys in on some players that really popped off last week. I'm gonna kick it off with my pick, Michael Pittman. He came out waving the rainbow flag, 9 for 121 and 1, 13 targets. He is out this week. I'm a little disappointed about that, but going forward, I think he's gonna be a great play. Braden, do you have a coming out player of the week, or did you not prepare for this segment?
I didn't prepare, but I can find one. Oh yeah, I got one. This guy. I love this guy, and everybody seems to hate him for whatever reason, but he is better than CeeDee Lamb, and that is Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god himself. Anthony can say whatever he wants, but my bold prediction this year was that Amon-Ra St. Brown greater than CeeDee Lamb, and so far through week
That's
1,
really bold. That's a really bold statement to say after Dak got hurt for 8 weeks. Wow. way to
I wish
fucking
I
go
had,
nuts there,
if only I had said
guys,
it. like-
after the star quarterback for the Cowboys got hurt, I think their star receiver is going to be
Anthony,
worse.
actually, his bold predictions that we did in the
Take
hotel,
Braden.
he said that.
Yeah, that was
Guys,
like a month ago.
I think that Davis Mills is going to throw for more yards than Dak Prescott this season. It's a pretty bold prediction. I know he's not coming back till week 9, but
Anthony, you should probably
bold.
put both hands in the
Okay,
steering wheel and keep your eyes on the road so you don't crash your car for a second time. Okay, buddy?
Third
Third
time.
Third time. Wait a second.
third time.
You're just a
That's my
liability
point.
to your family.
What's next?
Alexi.
Am I Braden versus now? What's going on?
Dude, you need help. You
Anthony, why don't you just think about your coming out player of the week and who it's going to be?
Yeah, how about you just sit there and think? Nah, coming out player of the week, Devontae Adams, 10 catches for 141
So what are we
yards,
doing next?
1 touchdown. Connection with Derek Carr is real. Devontae Adams, still one of the
I
best
love
receivers in the league.
Love that. Absolutely.
He said,
You guys
that's
hear
what he
me?
sounds like.
Barely.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Anthony's about to get the Billy treatment. He's going to get suspended from the podcast.
How do we kick him? How do we kick Anthony?
And let me in. I'm gonna join with.
You back? You good?
Alexi.
Nice.
All right, he's back.
All right, Anthony. Coming out player of the week. Who is it?
Wait, you guys haven't heard anything I was saying? Damn.
Nope.
Let's go.
No, we don't care.
Did you hear the CeeDee Lamb rant at least? The Davis Mills rant?
Yeah, we kind of heard that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So my coming out player of the week, other than Braden and Nick, who are fucking faggots. Jameis is playing with
Breaking news.
Jameis Winston playing with 4 fractures in his back, still going to be elite today.
Settles my start.
I really am really high on actually this week. Some people might be like, Josh Jacobs of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the matchup against the Cardinals. I think that the Cardinals are overrated. I think Josh Jacobs is going to get a bunch of the carries this week. I like what I saw from him last week. There's no split carries involved. I'm sorry, Brain. Is there something that you'd like to say about that?
No, I was actually saying that I agree. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I actually agree with what you're doing because a coming out player to me is somebody that we're predicting. So I actually like what you're doing here.
Oh,
so,
thank you. Yeah, so Josh Jacobs.
You're wrong, but I like what you're doing. I understand what you're doing. I like it.
A little under the radar, but I think he's going to have a good week. I like what I saw. There was no other touches being last week, which I did not expect out of the Raiders. McDaniel seems to like him. He looked good last week. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs, 14 carries, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns this week. 2. He's going to find the little pot at the end of the rainbow twice this week. How about that?
Boo.
right.
That was the worst.
Moving on to this week's matchups. I know they start in 30 minutes, so I hope you guys have made your start and sit decisions. But we're still going to break down these matchups and get some predictions in before those games start. So, Alexi, why don't you kick us off with me versus Ben?
Yeah, Ben's got the upper hand after a stunning week 1 performance. There was a leaked rumor that people had plans to get him removed from the league. I won't say who, but there's just rumors that was the plan. But after this stellar week 1 performance,
it was me.
After that stellar week 1 performance, he's in good hands. On the other hand, Nick has a sneaky team. He kind of underperformed last week, but with Michael Pittman Jr. out, I don't see Nick going 1-1. I see Nick going 0-2 and Ben improving to 2-0.
Hey, I think the Noodle King is really going to fight for the Iron Throne this week against Game of Jones.
He wrote that down.
That one on top of the head.
He prepared that for you all.
Oh, wow.
I didn't write that one down.
That
Nick
is
was
rough.
laying in bed and his dick got hard when he came up with that one.
That one felt good.
All right, Anthony, break down me and Justin.
Yeah,
In under an hour, please.
So I got Braden. I really hate both of them. I wish the worst for every player on their team and their families, and I hope neither of them ever win. But I really don't like Justin's team. No Keenan Allen this week. I love some of Braden's matchups. I think Michael Thomas is going to have a massive week. I think Michael Thomas might be the difference maker in this one with Keenan Allen out. I'm going to go with Braden Little.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And
All right.
I'm breaking down William and Alexi. Oh, all right. Sorry.
Wow.
I didn't know
Man
you
really
were-
just doesn't want me to
I
talk.
didn't know you were.
I'm breaking
still
down
on.
Paul versus Connor. Both teams looking for their first win. So we got 2 0-1 teams. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to bounce back this week against the Bears. He does own them, but Josh Allen is just unmatched. So I think Paul will win that matchup. I do think McCaffrey's going to come back big this week against the Giants. The Giants are shit. Shout out Mike. I know they won last week, but it wasn't impressive. Cam Akers is starting for Paul, not even the number 1 guy, probably gonna get 0 again. And Metcalf had his targets last week for Connor, but just not the yards. I think this week he gets the targets and the yards. It only takes 1 play for him. My prediction is Connor's going to kill Paul this week. Paul's team is just not good. He's starting an aging Julio Jones and Drake London.
Julio Jones
He's
is
matching up against Jalen Ramsey.
Someone might need to text Paul because Julio Jones is not playing today.
Yeah. So, Paul, if you hear this podcast before the 1 o'clock, you should probably take Julio out of your lineup, even though it won't even be released by then. So,
I'll text him.
You never know.
I'd also like to say really quick. I don't know if we've done this. Have we done the Nick Ben matchup yet? Yeah, we have. Alexi broke it down. I really and I'm looking at it, and I like every single starting player on Ben's team more than Knicks.
Wow.
Kind of crazy to say, but I don't see a single matchup that I think Nick's going to win today.
Coming from the low scorer of last week, so clearly
I think Ben is going
fantasy football.
I think you're going to slaughter. I think Ben's going to slaughter Nick, and I'm here for it, and I'm really excited to see it.
Nobody cares about your opinion.
I love that was 3 segments ago, and out of nowhere, Anthony's like, "Hey Nick, you suck." In case you forgot, you suck. I love it.
It's funny. It's just like chicken shit and dog shit fighting each other.
I don't have Wi-Fi, so my screen is officially locked on only their matchup because I can't change it. So and I was like, damn, Nick's team sucks. All right, so we're going next to the.
No.
Oh,
No, we got two.
No,
We got 2 more
Anthony,
matchups.
don't try to run the podcast. Just talk when you're told to talk.
We got 2 more. We got 2 more we need to break down. So I'll break down William and Alexi. As everybody knows, William was my pick to win the entire league. However, I got to give this one to the Creed Empire. I'm expecting a breakout performance for Matthew Stafford. I think that the Rams are just very upset after getting absolutely slaughtered by the Bills on that Thursday night game. So I'm expecting like 4 touchdowns for Matthew Stafford. The only way that I could see William winning is if Cooper Kupp catches all of those touchdowns from Matthew Stafford. Then I could see William winning. But other than that, I love Alexi's team this week. Dalvin Cook didn't do great last week, but I'm expecting him to catch a couple more passes. Cordarrelle Patterson is going to continue on catching a bunch of passes because they're going to be getting killed by the Rams. And I think Damian Williams is ruled out. Stephon Diggs, he's going to have another huge game. So yeah, I'm just expecting Alexi to have a really solid week. But it'll be a good matchup. I'm looking forward to that one.
And then we'll take it over to Dave versus Carter. It's a pretty even matchup. I like both teams. I'm gonna go with David Jones on this one. I think Kyler Murray's gonna have a rough time versus the Raiders, who have a pretty good defense now. I think Burrow's gonna have a huge bounce back week with the Cowboys. I think as a Cowboys fan, we might get killed. I love Barkley. Jefferson obviously is elite. I think Kyle Pitts is going to have a huge week this week after a bad week last week. And I just don't really like Carter. I don't like Carter starting Montgomery versus a good Packers defense. T. Higgins, I think, is going to suck. Zach Ertz might get 0 points. I'm definitely going with David Jones. And that brings us to the the matchup of the week. Ba-da-ba.
We got a big rivalry here this week. Anthony versus Mike. Anthony with 2 rings, Mike with 1 ring. We don't have the matchup data on them, but this should be a good matchup. Anthony, you have any words to say about Mike?
My team's pretty
as a person, right? Not as his team. Just Mike in general.
I think he's a coward, and I think that he's hiding in Colombia, and that he's a little bitch. And I think he needs a haircut, personally. And I'd like to shout out that Mike didn't want to do a punishment because he's a pussy. And yeah.
Well, do you want to hear Mike's live reaction to that as he's here in Atlanta with us?
Wait, actually?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, oh God.
I will say that Alexi and I's busts of the week this week is DeAndre Swift, who's on Mike's team. He's got a bum ankle. And Alexi just says he's bad, but I think that's just a lie, but his ankle is hurt. So I think he busts this week.
All right.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, for me, just looking at this matchup, I don't really see a way that Anthony can win. For starters, he started a wide receiver on a Thursday night game in his flex spot. That's just something I haven't done since my first time playing fantasy football. And not to mention that guy got 4 points. So it wasn't even, I don't know. It's just bad. CeeDee Lamb, I don't know who's throwing to him.
Cooper Rush.
It didn't matter when Dak was throwing
He's
him.
elite.
He had 2 catches last week when Dak was throwing him. So
this
it
brings
really
us to
doesn't
our
matter.
weekly Cowboys are great segment. It doesn't matter. Cowboys are going to win 10 games this year. Mark my words.
All
Dak's
right,
coming
all
back
right.
against the Packers.
Okay, settle down.
Cooper Rush time, baby.
Anthony also has my bust of the week on his team and Najee Harris. I don't really know how he's playing this week. He must just be a freak of nature because he was like walking around with a boot after the game. He got like carted off the field. So I don't really know how he's playing.
Good to go. He's good to go.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. He's a human, right? Like his ankle or something is messed up, and he's playing New England, and Bill Belichick scares me, quite honestly. I really just don't see how Anthony can win this. Starting Trey Lance, I just don't think it's that good. Lamar's going to go off against Miami. Also, Mike has the sun god. No, he doesn't. That's AJ Brown, not Amon-Ra. Dang, that's
just as
unfortunate.
good after last
It's
week.
probably better than the sun god, if I'm being honest.
It's a great bust, Braden. I'm gonna say my bust go. So
Wait. Okay.
Real quick, I'm gonna give my PETA player of the week, and then I'm gonna give my bust. So we'll start with my bust. He's on Nick's team, versus probably the best run defense in football. Derrick Henry, I think, is gonna have 26 carries for like 54 yards. He didn't look good last week. He's in Buffalo. He's versing the best team in the league with stopping the run. I don't like that matchup. He has no pass catching upside. I think it might be a long game. And I think they're going to get behind pretty quick. And I think they're going to be throwing a lot, which doesn't really help for Derrick Henry. And my player of the week, who I love, is I'm going to go with
Is this the Pepperoni Tony's pizza pick of the week?
Pepperoni Tony's pizza pick of the week, everybody.
Wow.
And then I'm going to leave you people to be. I'm all over it. I love, and again, I hate to say this, but I love Javonte Williams this week. I just, versus Houston, I think he's clearly the guy. I think he's going to get 5-6 more carries he did last week. And I think he's going to get another 5-6 catches. I just think I love him this week versus Houston. I think they're going to get up big after Russell loses a big week 1 match. I think they're going to feed Javonte today.
Let's ride.
That's right. So I'm gonna leave you guys. It was great. Good luck,
Thank God.
everyone. Alexi, take a shower. I can smell you through the
Hey,
phone.
Alexi, do you want to come over for football today?
Where?
All right,
Yes.
guys.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, cool. Bye.
Love
Anthony.
you.
All right, now that he's
You-
gone, we are jumping into our mailbag segment, and we got some great questions from you guys this week. My personal favorite, now, especially now that Anthony's gone, is will Anthony ever be good again?
No, move on.
And I don't think he will be. I really think he is just not good at fantasy football. I think he got lucky. I think he trade raped Maddie that one season, and that was the end of it. So, you guys got anything to say about Anthony now that he's gone?
I don't even know why it's a question, honestly. I thought I've been asked and answered.
Yeah, I mean, his team is really, really bad. I mean, he's starting the New Orleans defense.
Now I kind of want to look at this from a different angle. Is this talking about fantasy football? The question was just, when will Anthony be good again, if ever? Is this talking about fantasy football? Is this talking about his health? I don't know.
Let us know. Please clarify.
Yeah. Please clarify in the comments.
And then we got a serious question. Can Connor seriously be a contender again, or did he just get lucky last year?
He can definitely be a contender.
We definitely think he could be a contender. We looked at his team at the last week, and we loved it. I mean, he's got a solid team.
He's Sun God.
He's got the Sun God. Melvin Gordon got plenty of touches last week. I think that's going to be a fine split for him between him and Javonte.
Also, Christian McCaffrey didn't do anything last week, and that's not going to continue. They're going to
Play
get
the Giants.
And Aaron Rodgers didn't do anything. That's not going to continue.
That's also not
He
going to
will-
continue. So,
Everyone just needs to relax.
everybody relax.
I don't think y'all remember, but last year Aaron Rodgers threw like 3 or 5 interceptions in the week 1 against the Saints, and then he ended up finishing up as QB2 the rest of the season. So
Yeah,
Not
I
worried about
remember he was on my team. My team was really good last year.
So yeah, Connor can be a serious contender again, and I think this might be the year he does it. Mike Evans might be the only healthy receiver in the Bucks locker room right now. So
what about Russell Gage?
no, he's hurt.
Russell Wilson.
And then our last mailbag question: everyone wanted to know, how was Braden's date last week?
Oh, that's right. Because I kind of was getting ready during the middle of the podcast. I was putting my pants on in front of Nick. The date went well. Just a casual out to dinner. I'm glad you guys are interested in that. It makes me feel really appreciated, really loved by all the followers. So I'm glad we're building that strong community of fantasy football players. But the date went well. I think she's gonna go out with me again, guys. So yeah, just maybe there'll be a follow-up. I don't know. Yeah, it was great.
Good. Glad to hear it. Alexa, you want to close us out? Any closing remarks?
Yeah. Let's see. We can go through the games again. Let's see. I'll beat William. Braden will beat Justin. Connor will beat Paul. Nick will beat Ben. Upset. I think I said the other way around when I went over, but Nick will beat Ben. Mike will kill Anthony. He will literally kill him. And your dad will beat Carter. Closing remarks. Thanks everybody for watching.
All right. We will see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day of football.